Rate buy down disaster. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Buckle up, strap in. I got a hard hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. It's gonna give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in. Hold on to your hats and glasses as we blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Because if we lose one, my friends, we lose the other. Take your pick. Throw the dart at the economic map, and you might hit an issue threatening both at this very moment. But we'll talk about the U.S. housing market today, and one of the things that we're seeing, of course, is possibly what I've heard a lot of people ask me, and we've talked about. I laugh at this stuff. It's to wrap my head around what we got to unpackage here today, and I know many of you do as well. It's a self-defense mechanism built in, so we can tolerate what we're actually dealing with now. The overheating of the biggest asset class in the world, the U.S. housing market. We've always had a booms and busts and bubble behavior out of the U.S. housing market, and every single time that's occurred, they've in fact crashed. So we just had the biggest artificially produced bubble ever witnessed in world history, and people wanted to normalize it. Well, what we're seeing now, my friends, is the housing market has been placed on a life support. Everything, the whole economy, scratching the surface. I know we could go deep, but we always like to keep our thumb on the pulse of the U.S. housing market because it is, in fact, where most of us, our attention is at. The biggest investment you can make, real estate. It's where 90% of all millionaires made their money, but it wasn't by buying at the height of a super bubble, any bubble, especially a super bubble, buying outside the bubble for pennies on the dollar, which looks like it's now knocking at the door. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the bamboozle, the smoke and mirrors, the rug pull of what's called the rate buy down. This rate buy down is now starting to be exposed for what it really is, a sucker's rally tool or technique or trick, or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of experts now are blowing holes through this whole rate buy down thing. And you know, back in the last 2008 era bubble, which is the biggest bubble we can pull from, the most recent one, and one that had devastating repercussions for the U.S. housing market. And like I've always said to the people that wanted to tell me when I started ringing the bell, sounding the alarm, reading between the lines and looking between the cracks and letting people know that there would be blowback, the dust would settle, and we're going to pay the piper from overheating the housing market. We all wanted to believe this time was different. This time is different, Scott. And the only thing I could come up with at the time was, you're right. This time is different. It's worse. This time is worse. But back in the 2008 era, most of you have heard about the ARM mortgage, the adjustable rate mortgage. That was ushered in about at this stage of the housing bubble when it started to flatline and reverse course in many areas to get a sucker's rally formed. And it worked. A lot of people piled into those adjustable rate mortgages, and then their payment did what, you ask? Of course, you know what I'm about to say. It went up. Well, the rate buy down is exactly that. But then you have cheerleaders in the industry saying, oh, well, you know, our sources say that the Fed's going to pivot and you can just readjust that mortgage once they do into a lower rate. This is a great opportunity for you. Gambling with your financial future. Even as a real estate agent myself, I just have to use my moral compass and say, wait a minute, isn't that a little risky? Maybe I'll put these people on the sidelines and earn their business later, which we're doing. We've used a very basic fundamental on how to do that. We'll talk more about that. Let's go ahead and jump over to today's article. Then we'll meet back here to wrap it up. Let's get started. Mortgage lenders are selling home buyers? A lie. Marry the house, date the rate. That's the advice realtors and mortgage lenders are giving worried home buyers. In other words, don't be afraid to commit to the house you love because you can refinance when rates come down in the next couple of years. But frankly, it's bad advice. New homeowners may come to find they're in a longer-term relationship with today's rate than they expected, Oh yes, I think that's probably true. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, there you go. So that's what's up. I mean, the rate buy down is now being exposed, and I know a lot of people bit and are biting. Right now as we speak, somebody's signing a rate buy down agreement. Here's the challenge with that. Even if the Fed did pivot and you've got perfect credit, cash reserves, employment, because you got to reapply for a new mortgage rate. It's like submitting docs all over again. So if you look perfect in the middle of a recession, which is going to be probably hard for most to do, if your house is no longer worth what you're buying it at today, you don't refinance regardless of your credit score and financial position. It's upside down and it's purchase. No bank is going to refinance you when your house is now upside down. This is what's happening now. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the rate buy down is probably nothing more than a sucker's rally tool to get some sucker to jump in and buy a house. Most of the FOMO factory, brand new constructions, offices are the ones that are training on-site sales agents. Not even high-level representation, in my opinion, like a licensed realtor in your area. Let us know if you need that. Because what we're going to do, and like I opened the show with and I promised I'd talk about today, and what we're going to be gearing ourselves to do is, first of all, watch this one play out. Heat map and temperature check every single area in America specifically and see where the behavior is. But all we need to do is look at two things. Two things moving forwards, my friends. What's my cost to own with a standard amount down at today's interest rate? Even if I'm all cash, I'm going to pretend this scenario. I want to work up that scenario. Because if we ever want to sell our house, that's what our buyers, but 9 times out of 10 doing. Cost to own at today's interest rate. My cost to carry this property. What is it? Now, what's that property rent for? Is it a cash flow? Is it a break even? Maybe I throw them an offer. Scott, give me a high-level agent. Somebody hasn't drank the Kool-Aid. I'd like to test this property. They're starting to pencil out. And if not, let's just throw an offer to get the property to pencil out. See, real estate's about negotiations. It's not about bidding wars. That was a complete bamboozle, artificial environment that people wanted to normalize, and the wealth effect was created, and it created a lot of chaos that we're now going to have to deal with. The people that were patient, a lot of people will navigate them through later, will navigate those people through later that bought at the height and now running for the exits and going to have to be a cleanup on aisle 3. We'll have to help them, those people as well. But right now, that's our goal moving forward. I'm going to continue to blow the lid off it every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. Do you appreciate the content? I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video. If you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on, I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well, or simply reach out to ScottWaltersRealestate@gmail.com if that's easier for you, and we will find you there. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.